Hello everyone, it's Jenna here, and today I have a new process video to share for Bramble Fox. And in today's video I am using some pieces from the August Fox box. So I've got a perspective that says Loving Life in a very bright vivid green, and there is also a pair of coordinating glasses that go with that. And they're really cool. They're just beautiful bright green, and I thought they'd work really well on this layout today. I have also got some other Bramble Fox products that I use today. So there are some paper snips, and I believe these are from paper snips number 4. And then I've also, in advance of starting to film this layout, I've also used one of the newest stencils in the shop to create some sort of like leafy sprigs that you might just be able to see to the left hand side of my desk there. Anywho, so I have started off this layout by taking a bunch of patterned papers, and I've gone largely with sort of pinks, greens and blues. And my idea for this layout is to kind of create sort of like a quilt design. I've seen lots of sort of similar projects over months and months and months, and it's not something that I've ever really tried before. And I'm trying to think about sort of different ways that I can use multiple pieces of paper in a layout in sort of different ways, and I thought this would be quite a good way to do that today. So what I've done is I have cut out some 1-inch square pieces from 5 different pieces of patterned paper, and I have kind of just put them sort of in a rough position as to where I want them to go on this layout. So I've got, I can't remember how many go down the page. I assume it's probably 12 if they're 1-inch squared, and it's 5 wide. And I'm just going to spend a minute just sticking those onto my page, just using some adhesive tape. I did also want to add a little bit of contrast to some of these pieces. So I've also cut some 0.75 of an inch square pieces that I'm going to stick to some of these patterned paper pieces. Again, like I said, just to act as a little bit of a contrast. So I'm just going to repeat this process. I didn't include in the video just because it's so repetitive and it's not the most exciting part of the video, so I cut that out and I've just skipped ahead so you can see all of that now stuck down. I'm going to take a minute now to add some guidelines to some of these white pieces, and this is because I want to add some hand stitching. So I've just drawn some rough lines just with a ruler, and I'm going to use my paper piercing tool and my foam block just to poke some holes in these to allow me to add some hand stitching. So here I am, I'm just going to add some stitching to these. I am using 3 strands of white thread, and I'm just going to do a normal, I think it's called a running stitch, where you kind of just go up and then back over and then onto the next. That was probably such a poor explanation, so I'm really sorry. But yeah, basically all of it's, like the whole square is sort of covered with stitches, there's no gaps. So I do show you just a couple of these, but I'll skip ahead and show you sort of now that they're all done. I'm going to add some photo mats to my pictures, so I've just got a green polka dot paper that I use there, and then I've also added some foam to the back of my photos as well, just to prop those up again, so it makes slide-in embellishments under my photos a whole lot easier. And I'm just going to stick those down where that sort of white gap is, and I'm going to start building up the clusters around. So I've got my leafy sprigs, and I'm gonna create a big cluster to the top left hand corner of my photo, and then a little one to the bottom right hand side of my photo, of my second photo. I've also got some clouds that I fussy cut from one of the Sweet Rush papers, and there's a bunch of these really cute heart puffy stickers that I thought I would bring in to sit on top of these white square pieces too. So here come the paper snips, and like I said, I think these are paper snips number 4. Again, I'll leave these linked in my description box so you can check them out in the shop. But there are a couple of pieces that I thought worked really quite well, just with lovely little sentiments that worked nicely with my photos. So I've got a couple of other pieces that I'm going to add in. So there's a few fussy cut florals, there's some phrases from the Sweet Rush collection, some flowers, some butterflies, arrows. There's a whole bunch of different things, but I just wanted to stick to my colour theme today. So I'm just going to bring in sort of mostly green, pink and blue items. I'm going to work my way around my page now, and I'm going to start adhering some things down. And I like to use foam squares just because these add a bit of dimension. I don't really like things that are completely flat on my pages. I mean, some things are, so my patterned paper squares, they are completely flat, but my photos and some of my embellishments are raised just to give sort of different levels. So I am just going to make sure these arrows are straight. I'm going to get some of these other last little bits tucked in. Got some butterfly stickers that I'm adding. So I've got some cardstock ones and some chipboard ones. I think there might be a couple of other little sentiments. And it's just little things now. There's not much left to go. And I don't think we're far off being done. I think I've just got a couple of sequins that I'm bringing in now. And the final layer will be here in just a moment. There we are. It looks quite bright in this photo, so apologies. But I really love how this turned out. I think it really sort of is a really good way of using different papers in a different way. Normally I'd probably use a cut file or something like that. But yeah, this was super fun. I really enjoyed making it, and I just love how bright these perspectives are. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in my next video.